It's after midnight, and it's time for conversations about love, family, friends, sex, and life. It's Love and Life with Carol Riddick and Donavan West, only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome to another episode of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I am your host, Carol Riddick, and my co-host in spirit tonight is with us, Donavan West. And you already know it is my pleasure and my privilege to spend some time with you, and tonight is no different. I thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, and your attention with me and with us, with the guests that we will have tonight, in this midnight hour. We're going through so much right now, so many things. Everybody is dealing with something. So, from me to you, I want you to know that I am praying for you and I am praying with you. I like to ask how you're doing. I do hope that all is well with and for you and yours. And I'm sending you some light, some love, and some positivity. And to you, our friends on our socials, we're saying hi to you because we know you're there too. We appreciate you spending some time with us at this time of the night. Um, just thank you overall. Okay. Family members, if you are just tuning in, thank you for joining us. You are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Now, I don't know if all of you know, because I know some of you are not aware, but I'm about to tell you, you can now communicate with us via email. You can do so by emailing love and life at wurdradio.com. And, you can send us comments, questions, suggestions, all that kind of stuff. You can even just say, hey, y'all, how you doing? Because we appreciate that too. We love love. And speaking of love, y'all, I like to bring you personal experiences. I like to share. I love to share with you guys because I am of the frame of mind that it's a good thing to share. I feel like we can all learn from one another. In any event, tonight's episode is about couple love. It's about having that significant other with whom you love, you share, you trust, you do everything, and we're going to talk about that. But we're going to talk about that with a couple that is very, very, very close to me. They are my aunt and my uncle. I don't want to say too much about them because I want them to share their own story. So I would like for you to meet Lester and Mildred Riddick. Hello.
Hi, Carol.
Aren't they
How
cute,
are you?
y'all? For our family members that are visiting us on our socials, can you see them? Aren't they just too cute? I love them. Okay. I have asked my aunt and my uncle to join us because I really, really would like for them to share with us their journey, their story. And then, I want to know everything. I want to know every single thing there is to know because I know there's some nuggets that I've missed during the years. So I'll start with this. How long have you two been married?
55 years and counting.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, in what year did you marry? What was that?
We were married in 1966,
19. I wasn't even thought of.
August 29th on my birthday.
Mm.
It was the best birthday present I ever had.
We got married on his birthday, so I wouldn't forget our anniversary.
So, well, wait, okay, let's go back to the very, very, very beginning. I've started here. Let's go back to the beginning. When and how did you meet?
Well, Carol, I think it was fate, really. your namesake, Caroline, my sister, second oldest sister, passed away. I was stationed in Key West, Florida. So I came to Philadelphia for the funeral. And I was in my uniform when the doorbell rang, and I answered the doorbell. And when I got to the door, this handsome gentleman was standing there with a beautiful blue suit on, a red tie, with a pearl stick pin in his tie. And he said to me, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm the oldest son. I've been away for the past 10 years in the Air Force." So he said, "I'm Mr. Williams, and I want to offer my condolence to your mother and your father and your family." And he gave me a beautiful bouquet of roses. So I took the flowers in the house. After the funeral, my brother and my brother-in-law, John Riddick and Rock Jones, thought I was not grieving enough. So they suggested that I stay another week because I had only taken a week's leave. So I stayed another week, and my sisters took me to the Brotherhood where there was a club.
I remember.
And I went early. And I went upstairs and I sat unknowingly in the same seat my deceased sister always sat in.
Wow.
While I was sitting there, this beautiful lady with two other young ladies walked in. She looked over at me and she smiled. And to the day, she don't know why she smiled at me. She walked across the floor towards me. Her seat was behind me. And I was sitting there and I was saying, "Oh my goodness." And she walked right past me and sat behind me. And I was hooked right then. But that was anyhow. Later on, her father came in after the dance got started and everything. And I went up to him and I asked him, "Do you mind if I dance with your sister?" And he said, "That's not my sister. That's my daughter. And don't ask me, ask her." He danced, and I was being on my best behavior. So I was holding her about 10 feet away from me. And she said, "If you hold me closer, I can follow you better."
Oh, Mildred.
That's why my father always taught me how to dance, because he said the man leads, but you have to have your thigh up against his thigh in order to follow. And Les wasn't doing that, so I told him why he needed to.
Anyhow.
And we danced well after that.
Been dancing ever since.
Yes. After the dance was over, I wanted to meet her and to know her. And so I asked her for her phone number. Sunday, I went home and wrote her a letter. And I told her I was going to marry her.
You knew.
I knew. Tuesday, she called me and invited me to dinner. I went to dinner on that Thursday. And after dinner, we were sitting on the couch. And I was staring into those beautiful eyes. And I said, "You're going to just have to excuse me because I just have to kiss you." And I kissed her. And Carol, I swear, the hair stood up on the back of my neck. And I said, "Oh, my goodness. Wow."
Mildred.
So as I was leaving, she said, "Wait a minute." And she went into her room, came back out with a picture. And she said, "When you get home, look at the back of it." So when I got home, I looked at the back of it. And on the back, she had written, "With love from the future Mrs. Riddick." And I left for the airport the next morning. And I didn't want to pack that picture, so I kept it with me. So I had it in the cab on the back seat. And I hurrying to get on the plane and everything. I left it in the cab.
No.
I got back to the base and I called my sister Effie. And I was, Effie, I'm gonna get the hold of that cab driver. Get a hold of that cab. I left the picture in there. She said, Junior, don't worry about it. I have the picture right here. The cab driver knows us, so he brought it back to me.
Wow.
So I'll mail it to you. And I have that picture right now.
You still have that picture?
Yeah, I have that picture. And it's one of them sitting on the bookcase out there.
Are you? Oh, you know what, Uncle Junior, not Mildred, you have to show me that picture when I come.
I sure
you
will.
have, please. Well, wait, you said you wrote her a letter
Poem.
You wrote her a poem.
Yeah, and I called it that Sunday because it was on a Sunday that we met. Excuse me.
Do you remember the poem? You had the poem?
I'm going to read it to you.
You had? Oh, wait. Okay. Yes, please, please.
It's called That Sunday. A feeling of sorrow in my soul. A heart full of longing and love untold. A night of fun began. Enter she. Exciting, dashing, curvaceous, and beautiful. A smile so lovely, she nodded at me. Who is she? A princess? A queen? A beauty for sure. Is she the one? In motion, poetry, my dream. In my arms, perfect, a feather it seems. Surely she is a dream, my dream come true. Must you stare? Does she know you're watching? Is my heart showing? Mildred, she said, was her name. Sounds so lovely, but I'll call her Mill for now. But soon, beautiful, for 'tis true as the heaven is blue. Stop your dreaming, son. There's her one. What are you jealous for? She doesn't know you are alive. She is such a lady, that one. That's right, get angry, you fool. You don't stand a chance. Just look at him and her dance. She was dancing with someone else. Got to get out of here, you say. Where is your nerve? You'll never win her that way. She's the one, that beautiful girl, Mill. Don't go down those stairs without an address to show you care. Go on, swallow that lump in your throat and give out with that croak. You don't believe it, do you? She gave you her address. Now you're in a mess. But no matter what you do, you can never hope to win her less. A letter, sincerely your best. A phone call, our night tells the rest. Remember? A week not to be forgotten with all its splendor. Now I smile and sigh at the sound of her voice. Go weak in the knees with the bliss of her kiss. I dream of love with her in my arms, bringing a feeling of happiness in my soul, releasing this heart full of love untold. I'll see her in June, and then I pray, Mrs. Riddick forever. God bless that Sunday.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh my gosh. I don't even, I'm at such a loss for words. First of all, the such beauty. The everything that you wrote was so beautiful and so heartfelt and you still have it.
Yeah.
Well, she kept every poem I wrote her.
Oh my gosh, I'm Mildred.
He's so talented for writing.
He is
Poetry, and I was just taken away by it.
How can you not be just passionate, compassionate, Just Uncle Junior, oh heavens to Murgatroyd. Family, if you are just tuning in, you are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We are talking with my beloveds. We're talking with my aunt and my uncle, and I'm still digesting. I'm still digesting the. So you guys met. You wrote a poem for her. This beautiful poem that poem, it speaks to how much your spirits knew each other, because you claimed her. You said she was yours. You knew, and then Aunt Mildred, you knew. Which
I wasn't sure, but I knew he was the real thing. And I had a couple of boyfriends, but it was nothing compared to what I knew about him. And another thing, I had always wanted to be in the military myself, but my dad wouldn't allow me to be. And I always knew I wanted to marry a man in uniform. And he was in uniform. He was the one I knew I wanted, because I knew he was sincere. I had a couple of boyfriends, but they weren't sincere. You could tell.
You can.
But it was really something about him that I knew. Yes, he's for me.
So he was, but you were leaving. You said he was leaving. You were leaving.
Well, I left and went back to Key West, Florida. I came back in April.
So you left. This was June?
No, we met in February. My sister passed away in February.
Okay, Aunt Lonnie passed away in February.
I came back in April.
Okay.
And I remember I took her to dinner on Walnut Street. And then I took her to see a movie at the Arcadia Theater. And then I came back again in July.
Okay.
We went to
Atlantic City, and I took her to see Sammy Davis Jr.
Wow.
And he was fantastic. Beautiful man. And we were supposed to get married on her birthday. But on August, I think it was August the 18th, she called me in Key West and said, "Come get me."
You did, Aunt Mildred. Okay, so I want to let everybody know, because I want to let everybody know. So Aunt Mildred's birthday is in January. Aunt Mildred just had a birthday, and I should also let you know that my beautiful family, my Aunt Mildred just turned 80 years old. I know somebody's lying, but Aunt Mildred just turned 80, and my Uncle Junior, you're 84, right?
Yes.
You hear me? See, that's why I don't know, because you see them, right? You see them. So my beautiful beloveds, my Aunt Mildred just turned 80. Uncle Junior is 84. And I know somebody's lying, but I knew I had to say it so that you know, because that's what they're claiming. So so you tell me you came back. So Aunt Mildred said, "Come to get me."
Huh?
Aunt Mildred said, "Come get me. Come get me."
Come get me. August 18th. I went to my NCOIC and told him I needed leave, and he gave me leave. I drove from Key West, Florida to Philadelphia in 24 hours.
Oh my
Only took a half hour off for rest. We got married in Elkton, Maryland on my birthday. Her father was there and gave her away to me.
He was?
Yes.
Oh my God.
We drove from Elkton back to Key West. And we had a beautiful time in Key West. She had to go back home in December because her mother burned her hands, and her father called me and asked me if she could come home, because Mildred was a registered nurse. Not what she wasn't then. She was an LPN then, licensed practical nurse. And so I said, sure, she can go back home. And she went back home to take care of her mother. That was in 67.
In 1967.
1967.
So you guys were married in 66.
Yes.
And then in 67, mother burned her hand.
Right. I was still in Key West, but in 67, December, I got assigned to Syracuse, New York.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you guys moved north. Family, I'm going to interrupt right here because we're going to take a break for just one moment. But when we come back, we're going to hear so much more about this beautiful love story. And I'm so happy to share it of my beloveds, okay? My aunt and my uncle who have been married for 55 years. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Stay with us because we'll be right back.
Word on Jobs.
A new year is here, and if you're searching for new career goals or a new job that fits your skill set, visit wordworks.com to view jobs and program opportunities, including Community Relations Coordinator for WHYY, Disability Services Director for NBME, and Policy Director for Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. Visit WordWorks at word.com and find the career opportunity that's right for you. Brought to you by Pico and Livelihood at Word Radio.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
For the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. beginning January 2nd, 2022, exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM.
and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. You know, here at Love and Life, we talk about everything and anything under the umbrellas of both love and life. And tonight is no different. Tonight, we're talking about couple love. And I am beyond happy to introduce you to and share with you my aunt and my uncle, Lester and Mildred Riddick, who have been married for 55 years. I keep saying it because that's what it is, and because it's such a beautiful thing, and it's such a blessing. And I could think of no better way than to celebrate the two of them, than to share with you them and their story, because I love them so much, and I'm just sure that you will too, just by meeting them. So before we went to break, my aunt and uncle were sharing with us that Aunt Mildred said, "Come get me, just come get me," and Uncle Junior said, "I will be right there." And he drove from Key West, Florida, right, to Philadelphia.
Yes, Philadelphia.
To get Aunt Mildred, brought her back to Key West, but before you got to Key West, you stopped in Maryland, got married.
We got married in Elkton, Maryland. We stopped at I can't even remember the motel for our honeymoon night, and we drove the rest of the way to the base. And I sung to her all the way.
My Lord. Oh my goodness.
And he can really sing.
And she thought I could sing. I said, "Oh."
Wait a minute, because I've never heard this before. I did not know Uncle Junior could sing.
He can.
I try.
He won't get up and sing in front of people, but he can really sing.
So you serenaded her.
Yes. She loved it too. That's what kept me going.
Y'all are so cute. Oh my goodness. Uncle Junior, first of all, I want to go back to the fact that you wrote her this. I don't even know if there are enough adjectives that I can think of in this moment about the poem that you shared with us. First of all, thank you for sharing the poem. And Aunt Mildred kept this poem, y'all, for 55 years. Mm-hmm. Do you hear me? And I can attest to the fact that who you see and what you are seeing and what you feel from them right now is the same as it's been my entire life. This is the same as it's been my entire life. And that's a blessing. That's a huge blessing.
Yeah.
Like I've told many people, she's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
And I say the same thing. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. That's right.
It's such a blessing to have identified that.
Mm-hmm. And I left off in Syracuse.
Yes.
And in Syracuse, our first child was born. Not in Syracuse, but in Philadelphia. The reason she was born in Philadelphia while I was in Syracuse was Mel developed a toxemia problem. Her personal doctor was in Philadelphia, and he knew of this problem. So we took her home to have the baby.
Okay.
And March the 17th was when the baby was born. And I remember I was driving back to Syracuse from Philadelphia.
Okay.
And when I got to my room, there was a note under my door. And I opened the note up and it said, "Call home immediately." And I called back and they said, "Congratulations, you are the father of a little baby girl." And I was so happy. I think I woke up the barracks.
So that was when Kia was born.
Kia was born. And I had film of her taking her first steps in Syracuse, but I lost it. It was on a Super 8.
Oh, wow.
I lost that Super 8, but I sure would have loved to have kept it because she would have loved to see herself taking that first step. And after Syracuse, I was assigned to Thailand. So Mel went back home, stay with her parents. And after Thailand, no, wait a minute.
You came back to go back.
Yeah. But in the meantime, I went to Thailand November 69, wasn't it?
I would have lost all of that. I can assure you, I would have lost all of that.
I went in 69, and the reason I wanted to get that was because when I left, Mel was pregnant with Kyra. And Kyra was born.
She's in February
26th.
Yeah, Effie's birthday. Yes, Effie's birthday.
Yes,
that's Aunt F's birthday. I always know the two of them. Yep.
And I remember when I came home from Thailand, Kia I walking in the airport, and then, of course I was in uniform, and Kia and Mel and her father were coming towards me, and Kia coming. That was so precious to me. It was I'll never forget it. And she remembered her daddy.
I know that was precious. Oh my goodness. So wait, how long? You were in Thailand for how long?
I was in Thailand for a year.
For a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my goodness. How difficult was that? You're newlyweds and
many poems and many writings. We've been married for 2 years now. Because we got married in 66, 67, 68, 69. So that's 3 years, and I came back November 70.
Okay.
And we got stationed in Dover. And our first house here was in a trailer in Magnolia. And we stayed there for 90 days. And we moved into base housing. And Mel loved in the base house. And don't let nobody tell you Dover couldn't party, because we partied in those days. We had a great time.
Wait a minute. Y'all were partying.
Yes.
On the Air Force Base at the NCO
Dover
Club.
Air Force Base NCO Club. They had Sheridan had a rooftop lounge, the big kahuna, side door.
A lot of nightclubs.
A lot of nightclubs.
I'm listening. I never knew
this.
She
told me if I couldn't dance, she wasn't going to marry me. And I told her I can dance. My sisters made sure of that.
Oh, I know they did.
I could dance.
I'm almost
party. And we met a lot of nice people here in Dover. A lot of nice people.
So you guys,
she still has a lady here named Lucille Prince, and bless her heart, they've been friends ever since we've been in Dover. From 59, I came to Dover first time in 59 myself.
Okay.
But I came back, like I said, in 70. I left in 75, went back to Thailand. And when I came back from Thailand, I retired October the 1st, 76.
Oh,
so I've been retired from the Air Force for 46 years now. No, 45 years now.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was a great experience, and I would recommend the military to any young man. It will put you on your feet. It will put you in the right direction. And speaking of the right direction, my grandson is doing exactly that right now.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's in Okinawa, where
you were stationed in Okinawa.
I was stationed in Okinawa from 63 to 65.
So now I do have one question. So Uncle Junior, you were writing letters. Aunt Mildred, were you writing letters too in his absence?
Yeah.
So you both, okay, so this is how you managed to stay. Well, first of all, it sounds like the connection was minted from hello. So it doesn't sound to me like you guys had too tough of a time maintaining, each other's love.
Carol, I'm a one-woman man.
Okay.
The only woman I've ever loved is her. I've been married twice. You know that.
Yes.
But I did not love my first wife. And I knew that. The purpose I married her, I was trying to help her.
Okay.
I knew it up front. So it was no problem there. But Mildred's the only woman I've ever loved. And I knew it with the first time I seen her. And it was love at first sight. And it's been that way ever since.
I can attest to that. I as I said, family, if you're just joining us, you are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. And we are joined by my family, my beloveds, my aunt and my Uncle Junior, as we call him, but Lester and Mildred Riddick, who have been married for 55 years. And we're going through their journey. We're listening to them talk to us about long distance love, talk about, come and get me that was it for me. When Mildred said, come and get me, I'm so stuck on that. Okay. She said, listen, I knew he was a good man. I knew he was a good person. And that means so much to us women. Women, that means so much to us. It means so much to anybody, but especially and particularly from, a woman's viewpoint, we need to feel safe and protected. And when we feel that in abundance, ain't too much you can do. Ain't too much to stop that love train. But I love that what I've seen of you all has been consistent. It's been the same thing my entire life. And I should share with you family members that I used to spend the summers with Aunt Mildred and Uncle Junior. And
yes, you did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I have to tell them. So Aunt Mildred loves the letter K. So my cousins, their daughters, as you heard, Kia and Kyra. Well, my middle name is Kimberly. So I was Kim. And we just got a kick out of that. We always thought that was so cute because it just so happened that my middle name is Kimberly. And so I fell into the K, under the umbrella. But I wanted to know, so we fast forward. So you now in Dover, Delaware.
Yes.
When you moved to Dover, now did you I know the only thing I knew of was when you guys moved to Phoenix. Did you stay in Dover until you moved to Phoenix, or?
Well, I retired in 76.
Mm-hmm.
We bought a home in Kent Acres.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed there from 76 to 91 in that first house. Then we bought another house in Kent Acres.
Okay.
In 91, and we moved there. Had a great time in that house. Great time. Nice big yard. The kids had a great childhood there, and they loved it there. And our neighbors were great there.
Was that McDaniel Drive?
McDaniel Drive, 21 McDaniel Drive.
I remember that.
Yeah, because you were there. We got pictures of you in your beautiful little outfit there. And we liked that. We moved up to Saxton Road, number 1 Saxton Road. And we had a great time in that house. And we sold that house. Well, first of all, Mills, like became a registered nurse.
I remember that too. Oh, I want to interrupt you for one moment. Uncle Junior, I want you to slide to your right a little because you're falling out of frame. Yep. Yeah, you guys slide. There you go. Right there. There we are. I want them to see all of you. But when we come back, because we're going to take a break for a moment.
Okay.
When we come back, I want to share a story. I don't even know if you'll remember this, Uncle Junior. The one night, me, Key, and Kyra were up. You were in bed, and Mildred was at work. She was a nurse at the time. She was working overnight. We're going to tell that entire story when we come back. Family, stay with us because we'll be right back.
What's up, y'all? It's Janae Latrice
and Kayla J. Be sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. for
Crosswords, sharing conversations across generations, right here on WURD.
Progressive Black Talk Media.
We'll see you there.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things will never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Hey, still shopping for the new year? Or did you receive a gift card for the holidays? Either way, Word Radio's got you covered. Visit wordradio.com and shop at the Word Virtual Marketplace. You can support local, small, black-owned businesses through the marketplace and shop today. Visit wordradio.com/marketplace or wordworks.com/marketplace. You're listening to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We were at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. So we're talking about coupledom. We are talking to my beloveds, my aunt and my uncle. You know, we all have family members with whom we are closest. And I always tell everybody that my Aunt Mildred and my Uncle Junior, they're my mother and father too. You know, you always know that there are certain family members with whom you have, you know, a deeper connection, another connection. And I used to stay with Aunt Mildred and Uncle Junior during the summer. And I told everybody before the break that I was going to share this story. I don't know if you remember this. Kia, Kyra, and I, we were watching TV. We had no business. We were in the middle of the night watching television. Uncle Junior, you had told us to go to bed. And here we are. We were watching the Chippendales. Watching the Chippendales. And you were asleep. And here I became a young lady. That night. And I was, you know, wasn't terribly like afraid or anything, but I said, oh my goodness, I can't go tell Uncle Junior. Bless you, Aunt Mildred. I can't go tell Uncle Junior. So I called my mother. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. My mother said, get off my phone. She said, go. I said, but Uncle Junior's asleep. Well, tell your Aunt Mildred. I said, she's at work. She said, well, go wake your uncle up. So Uncle Junior, I woke you and you said, well, come on, let's go call Mill. I was like, oh, I was freaking out because it was in the middle of the night and I didn't want to tell you, Uncle Junior. Mm-hmm. But you were so calm and cool. You just woke up. Come on, let's go call your Aunt Mill. And I was like, I freaked out. I had a whole freak out moment. Kia and Kyra and I, we discussed it, you know, what we were going to do and how I was going to handle this and what was going to happen. And you said, okay, come on, let's go call Mill. And that was it. It was over. It was the way that you handled it that was so comforting to me, because I had already panicked. I had already freaked out because I said, Mom, he's not going to know what to say. He's not going to know what to do. And she said, get off my phone. Go on and wake your uncle. She said, child, having me think something was wrong with you. Go and wake your uncle. And you were so calm about it, but you brought me to a place of calm. And that's who you are. That's who you've always been. You know, you've been this rock of emotion. And for that, I've always been eternally grateful. So I can overstand, Aunt Mildred, how you saw him and you said, that's something special right there. He is something special. But I feel the same way about Aunt Mildred. But go ahead, Uncle Junior. I'm sorry.
We come from the basics. We had both good parents.
Mm-hmm.
My parents raised 8 kids, and none of us got in trouble. Except I did once. Long.
Wait.
That was in the military.
Okay.
And I didn't tell them about it for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And because I was so embarrassed. and so ashamed of myself. And I finally told him about it, and of course, verbally chastised me.
Mm-hmm.
But her parents and my parents were the salt of the earth. I am so grateful for them for the way they raised me. And my father, that he was a disciplinarian.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I received a lot of whippings in my day. But I remember in 1960, I took him to see his sister in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. He was in the tub, and I was sitting on the hopper. And I told him, I said, Daddy, you know all those whippings you gave me when I was growing up? I understand now what you were doing for me.
Mm.
And I want to thank you. And he cried. He said, I never thought you'd understand.
Mm.
And that made me, I just felt, it just took my heart, because here are two grown men sitting there crying. And he just thanked me. But I understood that he was trying to keep me on the right track to being a good man.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, he said, if I ever hear of you disrespecting a woman, I'll half kill you.
Mm.
To today, I still say yes, ma'am, to women, period. Yes, ma'am. Young or old. And I'll never disrespect a female.
Would you say, because I was able to see just a little bit of grandmama and grandpa, and I saw mother and granddaddy because I had years with them. But would you say because of their relationships, both of your parents, they were the blueprint for how the two of you are with one another, or would?
Yeah,
I would have to say so.
Yes.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I never saw, we were talking just briefly before, before, just a little earlier, and I was saying to you that you don't always see, longevity. We don't see images of Black love. We don't see long-standing images of Black love, which is why I wanted to spotlight the two of you, because my entire life, I've seen the two of you, and I've watched you, and from the moment that I can remember, this is who you've been. And I love that that's what I get to see in you, that is the demonstration of love that I get from you. But on the other side of that too, I've never even seen the two of you have a disagreement. I have, and I know, I mean, it's life. I know it's life. This happens, but I've never seen it.
Her father used to crack up at us standing there talking. We were fussing with each other, but he just laughed. So you two look so funny. And we knew when we've had disagreements or discussions like that, that it wasn't that important, because we always solved it. And he used to tell me, he said, don't think about divorce. Think about coming together and coming to understanding solution.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's there.
Mm-hmm.
If you sit down and talk to each other, communicate. Mm-hmm. Communicate. You'll find out that you can solve any problem. And that's what we do. We talk to each other. There's nothing I keep from her. And I hope there's nothing she keeps from me.
Nothing. I tell him everything. I tell him some things he doesn't want to hear.
I know that's right. But I love that too. We're about to take another break, but before we do, when we come back, I want to talk about that, like how you navigate those things that are unpleasant in the relationship. I want to hear more about that too, because You know, those little things that those gnats at the cookout. That's what I want to hear about. Those little things. So, family, please stay with us. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're going to take just a short break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Stand with WURD Radio, Pennsylvania's only black-owned talk radio station. Join the movement to keep the conversations going and amplify the voice of the black community. Show your support. Start or renew your WURD membership today at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player for the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media. Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Philadelphia. Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We are at the top of the second hour. OMG. The time goes by so quickly. But in the last hour, we were talking about, how my aunt and my uncle met and have, oh my goodness, how that spark turned into what is now 55 years and counting. And counting. We are talking with my aunt Mildred and my uncle Junior, Lester Riddick. She is 80 and he is 84. And listen, I know you're not supposed to say a woman's age, but I have to because somebody's lying to me. I'm sure of it. So before the break, I was talking with them about how they maintain, how they've managed to stay together. And I know Uncle Junior, you mentioned the word communication, but what what do you do in those unpleasant times when you don't want to communicate? Or when you're, what have you done? I should say, because you guys are here.
There's never, in my opinion, ever been a time that I didn't want to communicate. Okay. You have to want to communicate. You have to want to know what's wrong, what's happening. If you don't communicate, how can you solve the problem? Physical force is not. I'm almost 100 pounds over her this woman. In the world I would touch her. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she would touch me. So we talk about it. And we solve the problem that way. It's always been that way with us. And
it really, no, you know what I was saying a moment ago, I don't know if anyone missed it. I was saying I've never seen them have a disagreement. I have never seen the two of you disagree. And I so appreciate the fact that you do communicate as well as you do, and there has to be a lot of trust in there, in each other. You trust that when you do communicate that you're going to hold your word, that when we reach an agreement, I'm going to uphold my end of the bargain. That there has to be a lot of that in there too.
I got another poem here that'll tell you how I feel about this lady.
I want to hear it.
My wife, beautiful, brilliant, giving, and yes, caring, with a heart as big as Texas and a smile that still blows me away. She's all of this and more. 26 years and counting we've been together, and she still amazes and excites me to no end. She's a wife, lover, mother, grandmother, and my friend. A wonderful woman who loves to win. My love from the beginning to the end. Heaven must be missing an angel, for they sent me an angel down, and she's here with me. She's the girl of my dreams and the heart of my soul, and living proof that dreams do come true. My darling, I will always love you. That's what I think.
Wait a minute. Aunt Mildred, 26 years into your marriage, he wrote that poem.
Yes.
Okay, can you write the book? Because there's so much we need to know.
No, I think they threw the book away when he was made. I don't think there's another one like him.
I don't think so either.
He has been my rock, and without him, I just don't know what I would have done, Carol, because he has been here for me all these years. He's been the greatest husband I think I could have ever had. And we're still going strong, and he's still taking care of me. And now I really need to have somebody take care of me. And he is here helping me like he is. And
I've had two good role models, my dad and her father.
You did.
When my dad passed away in 1973, her father took over.
You really did. Yeah, so I want to share this too. So we went to lunch a few months ago when I came down, and they introduced me to this restaurant that's forever now. I'm going to Cheddar's. When I come down, that's where we're going.
Okay.
And that's what Aunt Mildred did. She shared. So for her birthday, they went out, and she said, we got another restaurant to go to too. And I love that. But I love the fact that you two still go out. You still have fun. You still do you still have date nights?
Well, not particularly date nights, but I'll wake up in the morning. I say, what do you want to do today? I'll say, let's hang out this way. And we go.
So I want to share, because the other day I called and I hear all of this background excitement. I said, Mildred, where are you? She said, oh, we're at the casino. Where I said, I love that. But I also love too that the two of you appreciate each other's differences, because there have been times when I've talked to Aunt Mildred and Aunt Mildred will say, oh, he went to play cards. I love that the two of you, and because I think that's necessary, that you love the person for who they are and you allow them room to be who they are. And I've seen that with the two of you. I've always, because I'll tell you, Uncle Junior used to drive to Philadelphia. He used to go to his Phillies games. He did not miss a game. And Aunt Mildred wasn't with him. Aunt Mildred didn't go to the Phillies games. She didn't go.
Didn't like baseball.
No. But
that's one thing. We never stopped each other from doing the things that we like, even if the other one didn't want to,
She's a free spirit, and I'm a free spirit. But the trust is there. Yeah. The understanding is there. The love is there. The caring is there. When she goes, she gets there, because she calls me back, I'm here. And when she's leaving, I'm coming home. Same with me. So we know what's going on, where we can expect.
And that's what you've always done.
Yes, her father raised her like that. Call. Let us know what's going on. And it never stopped when we got married.
Yeah.
That's important, though.
Yeah.
It is. Because if he didn't hear from me and I'm out and he knows I'm supposed to be home at a certain time, he'd be worried. What happened to her? Where is she? Or he couldn't reach me. So it's always, I keep in touch if I'm out.
And you do the same thing, Uncle Junior. I know you say, I got to call Mel. I got to let her know I'm about to head back.
Yeah. If she's out at night now, I don't take my clothes off until she comes in the house, because I don't know if I have to go out to get her or what.
At night, Aunt Mildred, where are you going?
She's at the casino.
No, that's not true all the time. Or coming from Bible study.
Okay. Well, yes.
I have a couple of Bible studies I attend, so.
I do remember, because I will tell you, everybody I was talking, I said, so what are you guys up to? And Uncle Juju says, well, wait, I have to check with Mel, because Mel, she goes out more than I do. I have to check her schedule.
But I love to play pinochle. John, just like my brother John, just like my father, but they play single deck pinochle. I play double deck pinochle. And I used to be in a pinochle club called the First State Pros. And we used to travel all around Virginia, North Carolina, Cleveland, Vegas, playing pinochle for money.
Okay. I was about to say, so you're pretty good, Uncle Junior. I didn't know that. I thought this was...
I only won one tournament I won. And
that was enough.
Well, that made everybody take notice of me. This guy can play.
So wait, I want to ask about, I want to go back to the poem for one moment. So do you still write poetry, Uncle Junior?
Every birthday I write or something. Every anniversary I write or something.
I have a book full of his poems. They're wonderful, all of them.
Oh my goodness!
Sometimes I'll just.
I didn't believe she kept them all, but
I go to bed and open the book and just start reading poems. He's so talented with them, and how he can just put things in on paper what he feels and rhyme it up like that. He has a great talent.
The thing about it is I don't remember any of it after I write it.
Oh, it's
That's
because
why I
it's from the
started
heart.
singing.
Yeah,
Mhm,
I don't.
mhm.
I just write it. It comes to me, and I write. And after that, I don't remember.
I love it.
I don't remember when I wrote that.
But Carol, when you come back again, I'll let you see the book. I put them in a notebook.
I want this. How'd you hold that from me, Mildred? You know, I'm a diehard romantic at my core.
You have to read these poems.
Oh my goodness. Family, listen. If you have just tuned in, you have tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Oh my goodness. We are sitting here in this midnight hour talking with my aunt and my uncle who have obliged me with their time and their energy and their attention, and they're sharing with us, stories about their love. They're sharing with us, just navigating life together. And I promise you, I just can't see the two of you being without each other. I just don't, like, it just seems to me like you were born and that was it. You were just married. But I'm listening to them both say that, I knew there was something special about him. I knew there was something special about her. For you, Uncle Junior, you said you knew, you told her, oh, you're going to be my wife.
Well, like I said, I wrote that letter, not this particular one, but another letter when I was going to marry her.
And you know what?
What you got?
In that poem, in that letter, I thought it was so interesting how you shared like your entire thought process, because you were talking to yourself like, no, you can't get her. You can't get her. Like, you got to come better than this. If you want her, you have got to do better. Mm-hmm. So I love how you went through the entire process. You acknowledged, oh, she's it. She's the one. But you had this whole breakdown process with yourself, like, and then you said, now go get her. Basically, that was what happened. You said, now go get her. Go get your wife.
Well, I knew.
You really did.
I try to tell a lot of people this first sight love. I don't care what anybody tells me. I know it.
Mm-hmm. You know it because you lived. Yes, you lived it. So how have things changed over the years for you guys with regard to, I know you've talked about moving around, because I know you started, you said in Key West, and you were in Syracuse, you're in Philadelphia, and in Dover. Like, how have things changed over the years for you guys? 55 years, that's a long time.
Well, when we moved to Arizona, I retired from the Air Force in 76, started working for J.C. Penney's in 72.
I remember that.
So I was in the Air Force for 20 years and 7 months. I worked for J.C. Penney's for 34 years and 6 months. Mm. And when I left Dover in 99, I transferred from this Penney's to Penney's out in Arizona. And that was my dream. My dream was to live the rest of my life in Arizona. Mm-hmm. Had it for 4 years and 4 months. And after her parents called and got sick and asked, could she come home? And she said she was going home. I said, well, I'm going with you. I said to myself, I can't take a chance on losing her. So we sold the house in Arizona, which was to us the perfect house for us, because it's 3 bedrooms, no grass, rock. They had red rocks in the backyard and the front yard. And it was just what we wanted.
I remember.
Of course, we had it built. So it was what we wanted. Mm-hmm. But, we sold it and came back to Dover. And thank God we did, because the Lord works in mysterious ways. We were needed back here in Dover. Mm-hmm. And since we came back in 2004, since we bought a house that had 5 bedrooms, mm-hmm. and we had 5 families come and live with us? 5 families come and live.
Not at the same time.
Not at the same time. At different times.
Who were in need.
Who were in need. And thank God we were able to do so and help them get back on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a blessing. And I always say, no matter what the problem is, the Lord will see you through if you work at it.
Yes, he will.
And
my mother would always say you have to meet him halfway.
Halfway. That's what our parents taught us. At least my mom did. My mom used to always tell me, Junior, trust in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Trust in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I've always, a lot of people, I don't go to church, but I'm not a church person.
Mm-hmm.
But God is my love.
Mm-hmm.
And I can communicate him one-on-one. And I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need the middleman. And it's, to me, it's such a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can talk to him. And he talks to me. I mean, a lot of people say, how does the Lord talk to you? Not in the way I'm talking to you, but things that happen. It's like I saw your namesake twice. Caroline. Saw her in Arizona the first time. Red. I don't know if you remember, she had that red. No, you don't remember. Lonnie.
No, I didn't remember. I never met Aunt Lonnie.
No, Lonnie had a red robe. And I was sitting in the den, and Mel was in the bed. At least I thought she was in the bed. I was sitting there, and then I saw this red robe go by. I said, honey, did you just walk by the door? She said, I'm in the bed. And I just said to her, Lonnie's here.
Mm.
And I saw her again in 24th Holly Cove Lane. But I never fear. I feel comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're watching over me.
Always. I love that you said, you two have a relationship with the Lord. Mildred, we know you do. My Mildred goes to Bible study, and we know that. I know that. You know that. But I love that the both of you have your own individual relationship with the Lord. And I've always thought that's necessary, that you have to have a personal relationship first before you can have a relationship with him together as a unit. And it means a lot to me to hear you say that, to say it publicly, because I think it's important for other couples. I think it's important for other men. I think it's just important, period, for everyone to hear that, everybody's journey is different. Everybody's story is different. And what my relationship is with the Lord may not be what your relationship is with the Lord, but that's all right, because it's not supposed to be. It's my relationship. That's all right. That's okay. And I do think that, the fact that the two of you have relationships rooted in faith, first and foremost, has been, that's the brick. That's the first brick to the foundation right there.
Mm-hmm. My mother told me when I was 12, I think it was 12.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember the church on Broad and Catherine. There was a church on Broad and Catherine across from Daddy Grace's church.
Oh, yeah, yes.
She used to go to that church. And I remember I was standing outside on the steps, and I told Mama I don't like church. And she said, Junior, you go with me this time. If you still don't like it, you don't have to go no more. Mm-hmm. And I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. She knew that I wasn't saying I was not accepting the Lord.
Right.
I don't like church.
Right. There's a difference.
I was so, and now was so impressed now, not then because I didn't understand it, but now I was so impressed with our insight into what I was feeling.
Graham was special.
It just blew my mind. How did she know?
Graham was special.
Yes, she was.
Graham was so special. Graham was another angel. She
told me when I told her about Mel, she said, Junior, that's a good girl.
So your family, so the fact that you said that her father had come to the door, to express his condolences when Aunt Lonnie died, so our families knew each other well, or?
They knew my sisters. Her father knew. I don't know if she knew.
I didn't know.
She didn't know all my sisters, but she knew a couple of them.
Okay.
My father knew all my sisters.
Okay.
Except Nancy.
Okay.
Knew Zini, and the main Effie and Lonnie.
Okay.
They were dancing partners
from
up
that club.
Oh, did Aunt B go dancing? Aunt B didn't go dancing?
Not up there. She went up there a lot. She went up there,
okay.
but I don't think she went there a lot.
Okay.
B went with a different group at that time. B was a little faster.
She was a rebel. Okay. Oh my goodness. You family members. If you are hanging with us, you are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We're going to take a break, just a short little break. But when we come back, we're going to talk some more about this magnificent couple that is my own, with whom I share a bloodline, my beloveds, my aunt and my uncle who've been married for 55 years. Family, stay with us because we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka the Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at SheCanSTEM.com.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things could never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We've been talking tonight about couples. We've been talking about love. We've been talking about living and loving together as one. And we've been talking with my aunt and my uncle, Lester and Mildred Riddick, who have been married for 55 years. I wanted to share with everybody them and their story because I just think the world of them. I love them more than I could ever express. But because, you know, for me, they are the one demonstration of love, of Black love, that it has been a constant in my life, that I've seen, that I know, that I've been in the midst of and have been around. I mean, you know, there have been others, but with regard to positivity and love and light and Black love, strong Black love, they are one of those couples for me. And so I wanted you to know them and to meet them and to hear from them. I will say, Uncle Junior and Aunt Mildred, I love the dynamic between the two of you, because now, Uncle Junior, you're the protector and the provider, and you know, when you speak and you tell us of that, but you also share your passion and your compassionate side. And Aunt Mildred has always been so soft spoken, but Uncle Junior says, well, she said, and I did it. I love that, because you said, she said, come get me. And you did. She said, I have to go home because mother and granddaddy need me. So we did. But I love the support. I love. And I know that it's not one-sided. It's not one-sided, but it is a demonstration of your love for her. And I know, because I've been in the midst of the two of you. So I see and have been there, you know, watching her care for you. But I love how the two of you love on one another, how you are supportive of one another.
Well, you know, I wanted to say also that in the late 70s, 79, I was in college at Delaware State. And it got too much for me because I was working full time and going to college full time. And she saw something was wrong with me. And she said, you need to go talk to someone. And I went to the base and I talked to someone in the mental health center. And I found out 3 things. My mother had just passed away and was bothering me. I didn't like the boss I was working for at JCPenney's. And I was upset because she was working and she was making more money than me. After I went and got that off my chest, I settled down and I talked with her and I said, what I'm thinking about doing is dropping out of a college and you're going back. And that's what we did. We went back to college, and she graduated with our RN. And it was one of the best things we ever did in our life. After that, she took over the household. She controlled the household up until now. Now it's my chance to do it again. And I'm going to take care of her just as good as she took care of me. During her tenure of taking care of us, we went on cruises, Jamaica, Bermuda, Alaska, Virgin Islands. She was great. She was just perfect in what she was doing, in my opinion. And I hope I can be just as good with her. We've been blessed. We've been blessed. The Lord has seen us through bad times. And when I say bad times, I mean times with our kids where they needed something and we were able to provide. We have been able to stand on our feet ourselves all the time. And I thank God for that.
Yeah.
I remember Chief Ford told me in 73, Les, we got to look out for our kids because the future looks bleak for them. And I never forgot that. And he was right. I mean, my youngest is doing great. But the oldest is struggling. But she's still on her feet. Thank God for that. So life isn't all roses and candy. You have problems.
True.
But when you're able to see the blessings that the Lord has provided for you through your own work is there, use them and share them. And you'll see yourself through the end of it.
And like you said, Grandma would always say, you meet him halfway and you'll be all right.
Yes, ma'am.
He will get you. Yes, he will. Yes, he will always. If you meet him halfway. My mother would always repeat that to me. Always repeat that to me.
Well, your mother was younger than me,
but
I was son to her.
Everybody.
She told me what to do. And I used to get upset.
My mother told everybody what to do.
She used to say, shut up, boy.
Oh, my goodness. Wasn't she a mess?
You know, Cora told you to listen to me.
Oh, my goodness. I want to ask a question about something you just said, Uncle Junior, because you said you and Aunt Mildred made the decision that well, first of all, there's so much about what you just said. Aunt Mildred, you recognized that there was something going on with Uncle Junior.
Yeah.
And
well,
so,
what triggered it, I threw a book up against the wall when I was studying statistic, because something contradicted itself, and it upset me. And I'm not a person that gets upset. And I threw the book up against the wall, and that's when she said there's something wrong with you. I was depressed.
See, he didn't want to go to college in the first place, but he had a grant from the military that he could go,
Okay.
And I said, you should take advantage of this. So he tried doing it to satisfy me. But then when I saw how it was getting to him, and it just wasn't the classes, it was something else, but I didn't know what. I told him, you need to go talk to somebody at the base and sort of get to the head of it. And as it turned out, it was something about he just didn't want to go to college, but he was doing it to satisfy me. I said, you don't have to do that for me. I don't want you stressing out. because of this. I said, but since you don't want to go, and he was getting, free because of the military. I said, since you don't want to go, just stay home. I want to go to college. I want to try to get my BSN. So, but what I need you to do is to sort of take care of the household while I'm studying and all, because I couldn't do that and work because I had to quit. I was still working, but I had to quit my job to get through the 4 years.
Right.
And when he went to see whoever he saw at the base, they sort of got to the bottom of sort of what was bothering him. And so it all worked out. He took care of the kids in the house because I didn't have time to when I was working and going to school. And it was the best thing that ever happened.
I remember that. I first of all, I didn't know how you managed, because I remember Aunt Mildred. I remember you going. I remember you always doing, and I remember Uncle Junior was taking care of everything at the house. And it was the first time that I had seen, roles like that. But I commend you, both of you, first of all, Aunt Mildred, for your strength and talking to him and recognizing and acknowledging and taking that time and not reacting differently. And Uncle Junior, I commend you for listening and for accepting and receiving what she said. I'm getting so emotional, but receiving what she said, because that's so important. It's so important when your mate comes to you and says, I need you. I need you. So I need you to go and get some help.
Once again, that's communication. I understood what she was saying. Not only that, but I knew, like I said, I'm not a person to get upset.
Right.
Something's wrong. I don't get upset.
Right.
And I've been through too much being in the military and being in the security police. I've seen too much. I've seen death. I've seen accidents. I've been shot at. I've seen too much to be getting excited like that. So
right.
I knew there was something wrong.
But you accepted, you received what she said. And then not only did you accept and receive it, you went to take care of it. You went to do something about it. That's obedience. That's that is commendable. It really is. Especially, we talk about mental health. We talk about just self-care. We talk about self-love, all the time. And Uncle Junior, you and I were talking about, briefly about taking care of ourselves and how sometimes we just get used to doing and going and doing and going. And we don't pay attention. But it was, that.
And I'd like to say one thing. He's taken great care of me now, since I had my knee surgery and I was hip surgery and other things going on. He's really there for me. I appreciate it so much. I don't know what I would do without him.
Mm-hmm. You too.
Well, I had my hip replacement in 2003, and she was there for me.
He's really been there for me.
When she's there for you, you better do what she says.
I know. I know that's right. Let me tell you.
You get out of that bed and you use that walker.
You better do it, right? I love it, family. You are tuned into Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. I am talking tonight with my aunt and my uncle. My aunt is 80 years old. My uncle is 84 years old. It's all lies they tell. But they have been married for 55 years, and they've been sharing with us like bits and pieces of how they've managed to stay in love, and how that spark it wasn't just a spark at hello. It was a whole full-blown fire. And I love that. And I love hearing that it is still a fire. I love that. He said she is the one and has the only one. She's the only woman with whom I've ever been in love. The only woman I've loved. And I love that she said, look, he's taking care of me and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I think that's amazing after 55 years. It's to say it's a blessing is an understatement.
Well, both of us feel we've been blessed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Family. And I love too, because you guys, what I was saying earlier, how each of you have your activities. You say, yeah, well, no, I'm running out today, or I'm running to do this today. But let me tell y'all, they talked about partying. They still party, y'all. They still party. They're talking about these knees and hips, but they are still partying. Believe me, you. Okay, when we went out together, we had a good time. We had a grand time, and I can't wait to go back out again. So
yeah, you have to come back.
I am. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. But oh my goodness, everybody, just give us one more minute, because we are going to be right back. We're going to just we're going to take a second for ourselves, and we'll come back and talk to you some more. Stay with us.
Word on Jobs.
A new year is here, and if you're searching for new career goals or a new job that fits your skill set, visit WordWorks.com to view jobs and program opportunities, including Community Relations Coordinator for WHYY, Disability Services Director for NBME, and Policy Director for Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. Visit WordWorks at WURD.com and find the career opportunity that's right for you. Brought to you by Pico and Livelihood at WURD Radio.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at SheCanSTEM.com.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things will never ever be the same, don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path, all you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night, too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
Hey family, I'm Carol Riddick.
And I'm Donavan S. And we're the hosts of Love and Life, a new show about,
well, love and life.
This show is an informative, entertaining, and refreshing take on the hard conversations about love and life.
Each day, we'll provide real facts and honest opinions on dating, sexual health, casual, and committed relationships.
These late night conversations will be served on a judgment-free platter and seasoned with unapologetic realness.
So join us Sunday night through Thursday night at midnight on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We've been talking with none other than my blood, my family members, my beloveds, my uncle and my aunt, my Uncle Junior and my aunt Mildred, my Uncle Lester and Mildred Riddick. How about that?
Just call me Junior.
Oh, yeah, Uncle Junior. Uncle Junior it is. We are in the final stretch of tonight's episode. I oh my goodness. In any event, we've talked about faith. We've talked about communication. We've talked about trust. We've talked about support and obedience. And you know what's so interesting? Well, all of it is interesting to me, but it resonates with me that neither of you, that the two of you, I should say, both of you recognized something in each other because you didn't date for very long before you were married, because this all took place in the same year when you were married. It was, and not only did you not date for very long, you weren't even in the same state. You know, I kind of glossed over that because I've just known you for so long. I told you just from inception, the two of you were one for me. So it's just digesting that now. You did not date for very long. You identified with one another. What advice would you have? What, Mildred, what did you say?
We only saw each other 3 times before we got married.
3 times. What would you say? What advice would you have for young couples?
In what sense?
Well, with regard to longevity, what would you say to them for that staying power, how they communicate with each other, how they should approach one another?
You said it right there, communicate.
Communicate.
You've got to be honest and communicate.
Honest.
And communication, like I said, you solve problems by communicating. You don't solve problems by pushing or hitting.
Mm-hmm.
You just increase them. As long as you communicate, there's always a chance of solving the problem.
And there was something else important to me, too, that you shared, being open to what your partner shares with you. And that's even about you, even as it pertains to you as well. As I know, Mildred, you said, look, we share everything. And sometimes we don't want, the other one doesn't want to hear what we're sharing. But, when you were talking about him going to see someone, like it's so, the word is escaping me right now, but that's something that's so sensitive. Mm-hmm. That's so sensitive. How did you even approach that conversation?
Because
it was easy.
I knew something was bothering him so much.
She knew me by then.
And it was something that I couldn't fix. Okay. So if I can't fix it.
Can I read the last poem I wrote to her real quick?
Yes, you can. I love these poems.
Just 2 weeks ago, I think. When I first kissed you, I knew life would be forever a joy. Roses are red, violets are blue. I've used these words many times over the years to say I love, honor, respect, and adore you. You're the dream of my life who made me so happy when you said I'd be your wife. Mm-hmm. You were younger then, and so was I. Who would have thought my dream is my life and my life my wife? 55 and counting. I hope it will never end until we reach 100 to begin again.
And you just wrote that.
Yeah.
For my birthday, I think.
Oh my goodness. Uncle Junior, Mildred.
Yeah, I love all the poems he has. When you come back again, I have a whole book of them you can read.
And you know I'm coming soon because first of all, I want to go back to Cheddar's because I love our lunches. And so that has to happen sooner as opposed to later. But I love. I can't say it enough how the two of you love each other and how you love on each other. And I feel like, it just doesn't get any better than that. It just doesn't get any better than that. And the two of you are so cute together because you.
I can't believe we got two kids over 50 years old. That blows my mind.
I bet it does, especially since you two are still out here dancing and doing all kinds of. Y'all are still dancing. Oh my goodness, we have gone through the journey. We have gone through their journey, and just, if I can give just a quick synopsis, they met was in 66, right?
Yes.
It was in 1966 that they met.
1966, February the 12th, I think it was.
You hear that? Now, I can't remember yesterday. And he said, I met her on February 12th in 1966. And they said they had only been in each other's company 3 times before they married on August because he was in the military and he had to go back to where he was stationed. So you saw each other 3 times, got married because she said, come get me. Come and get me. And he said, I will be right there. He said he was in Key West, Florida, drove 24 hours. He stopped once, okay, to go get her. And here we are 55 years later.
Yep.
Family, it just does not get any better than that.
Love is a blessing.
It's been a wonderful, wonderful journey.
It still is, right? It still is. It still is. It's oh my goodness. Y'all can see this. Now y'all know I'm just the one big crybaby. I'm just one big teardrop. And it doesn't take much from me because I love the sentiment. I love love. And like I said, for those who are just tuning in, we've been talking about living as one, loving as one. And I have had the perfect representation of that in my aunt and uncle. My Aunt Mildred and my Uncle Lester Riddick, who have been married for 55 years. She just turned 80 and she said, listen, I'm so mad that we're living in this COVID compromised existence because I wanted to have a party. Do you remember that, Aunt Mildred? She said, I wanted a big party. I was so mad at that. Well, you know what? I'm mad at that too. Okay. These variants out here. And my uncle is 84 and they are still, okay, going strong. And he just read a poem that he just wrote for her 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. For her birthday. Family, it pains me to say that wraps up today's episode of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I want to extend my utmost gratitude to all of you for spending some time with us. You know, I love your company. I tell you every single time. And your attention is always welcome and appreciated. Oh, family members on our socials, don't think I forgot about you because we know you're there and we appreciate you too. I want to thank the entire WURD family and to my alternating co-host, Mr. Donavan West. Thank you. And a special thank you to my aunt and my uncle, Lester and Mildred Riddick. I love you more than you will ever know. Thank you so much for sharing with us, sharing everything, the up, the down, the in between, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. Thank you so much for that. Listen, have a great night, have a great morning, and a great rest of your day. Remember, family, we are all in this together. So be good to you, please, but be good to those around you. Make sure you join us at midnight for another edition of Love and Life on WURD. We said amen. That's right. Amen. Amen to that. Amen, family. We'll see you later. If they
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka the Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
211, how can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's going to play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio.
96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.